The Motor Trade Association says the country could be headed for US-style crime hell if the government doesn't put a stop to retail crime.
Another 2 Auckland petrol stations were targeted overnight, and one of the owners fears it's only a matter of time before someone is killed. Lucy Thompson reports.
A frightening but all too frequent sight. This Caltex in Gleneden, one of 3 Auckland petrol stations targeted in as many days.
If you see the footage, you'll see how traumatic it is.
3 hours earlier, this gas station in Papatoetoe was robbed. And on Sunday, 8 offenders entered this Western Springs store with a hammer, forcing the worker to flee to safety.
Are you worried about a life being taken?
Absolutely, yes. And it's not only just our staff, you can have innocent bystanders.
The Motor Trade Association says the government must back up its tough talk on crime with action.
How long before you end up having to, be served by someone who's stood behind bars for their own safety?
Police data published in January shows retail crime costs New Zealand retailers $1 billion each year and has a significant personal impact on those working in the industry.
It's become part of the recruitment process for bringing new staff into petrol stations. They need to be made aware that there is a risk that you may be on the wrong side of the till.
Not to mention the cost associated with implementing additional safety and security measures. In the last 5 years, Z has invested $33 million into reinforcing doors and windows, installing fog cannons and establishing safe rooms. A cost MTA says should be addressed.
They're small businesses that don't operate on huge margins, and little things like tax breaks for security improvements could really help.
You think it's a good idea?
But our job, our job, in terms of good idea, is to go out there and return safety to the streets and the business of our country.
But Marshall's concerned the government's U-turn on the smoke-free amendment bill, which would have reduced the number of tobacco outlets, will do the opposite.
Cigarettes are one of the highest value things that the petrol stations have on site, and as such they are a piece of what gets targeted.
With innocent workers left to pick up the pieces. Lucy Thompson, Newshub.